All right, so this is kind of random that we go live this early in the morning, but I figured that it's worth it because I've been paying attention to some things and I'm not too impressed, to be honest. Danielle, I'm glad to see you. I need you to email us again because I need to talk to you. But uh, as far as all this with the lab and the grab and all that, I kept getting phone calls. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to tell you the truth about how uh, some stuff went down because this upsets me. And it's not true crime. This is using a true crime uh, part of YouTube and making it drama over something that's completely dumb. Um, anyway, so Jenny Penny months ago reached out to us out of nowhere. And let me tell you how weird this is. Called on the Cracking Cases Facebook page, which I never answer. Allie never answers. And for some reason, we just happened to answer it that day. Well, she just starts kind of unloading on all this stuff that y'all are watching on the grab. Yeah, exactly, Lana. Why are people calling us? We thought it was strange to begin with. We're like, why are you reaching out to us with this? Starts this unloading all this, gives us these downloads. I've had these recordings and some that haven't even been played yet for months. And uh, I mean, as late as a week ago, I got a call getting accused that we put it out there. We leaked it. We did this. I said one time I played about 30 seconds of one because I was upset at what I was told by Jenny Penny. And I've been sitting back watching. So it was way more than just us that she reached out to and that she sent these recordings to. And it's stupid. It's just, those things between her and the lab, granted, are bad, whatever. Um, I've got kind of a better insight into it, but I saw Tiffany Marie talking about it the earlier. I don't know when that live was, but I was like, well, there's her getting, Jenny and Penny reached out to her in July. Well, the reason it was brought to kind of our attention, it was said that you guys, I don't know if you remember when Josh from the lab came over to our live one time, and I was talking about how he had a live stream, and I found it very encouraging. Well, he came over on our panel one night. Well, I have Keith, and that's what I've been doing this whole time right here. I am explaining what I'm talking about. So there's the grab, and then there's the lab, the channel. The grab has been doing this exposing of the lab, right? Or whatever it is. Okay. So I've sat quiet. There was very few people that knew we had this stuff. And, between personal friends is the only person I never even let people listen to it. We didn't even listen to it in its entirety because it didn't really matter to me. But the way it was brought to me was that the day that Josh from the lab came on our panel, that it was somewhat to be a nefarious reason. Okay. I don't remember. Do you remember what it was? What she said was the reason? Huh? I can't remember either, but it was supposed to be nefarious, whatever. I got pissed off about it, and I was like, well, I really thought that was sincere, and it came from the heart that night, and it kind of just bothered me. I got over it pretty quickly, didn't talk about it anymore. It doesn't matter to me. It's not true crime. It doesn't help cases. It doesn't help anything. I will admit that hearing those things that Josh was saying, I will be honest, and if people can't agree with this, I don't know where you're what you're listening to, but he did not know very much about any of the cases he was following, besides reading it offline. And that's fine. Read your info offline. Get your, do your, but give your sources credit and don't say it's yours. That's all fine, whatever. We all use the web to do our research. It's part of it. But I'm not going to sit here and get accused as late as last week of leaking these calls out to these other channels, because it didn't happen that way. Obviously, they were sent out to multiple channels, and I'm not going to be the scapegoat or the fault guy. I have all three of them right here. There's three of them that are pretty bad. I don't know uh, if they played them in their entirety. There was another little channel that had gotten them. I got accused of them getting them from us, because what we were told by Jenny Penny was that we had the only three. What was it? We had.
We were the only people that got the third.
We were the only people that got the third recording.
Is what we were told.
Well, I've seen since then that there's been 10 other, I'm sorry, excuse me, channels that obviously had access to this stuff. It's stupid.
That we never even listened to.
Yeah, that we never even listened to. And so when she asked me about it, I said, yeah, I played about 30 seconds of it. She said, well, you didn't have permission to do that. I said, no, I didn't, but I did it. And I played it on Angel Talks Too Fast. And it was because I was upset and I acted out of anger, which I then turned around and apologized for. It's so dumb. This does not help any case that we're supposed to be covering. It's drama. It's been used to infiltrate into drama. Yes, I know it's not right. The things now, was she used by him? I'm not going to weigh in either way. She gave him money. Did he make up stories about what the money was for? I do believe that's probably very possible. Did she get paid back? To my knowledge, from her lips, she said he paid her back. That should be the end of it, right? Um, but yeah, so Susan H said they shouldn't have shared it with creators if they didn't want it shared. That's exactly right. But I'm not going to sit here and get blamed for our integrity being bad when we didn't share it. But we instead sat back and watched this BS, everybody go crazy about it like they didn't have any idea about it. Tiffany Marie, what are you asking? Did Cam see the messages? Does anyone know? Which messages, Tiffany? Here, Tiffany. Here's the link. If you want to come up. There's the link for you, Tiffany, if you want to. That's the question, too. Was it McDonough? I don't know. Was that speculated? Yes. I don't know who bailed him out. It was $7,600. That's all I know. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to see if Tiffany's going to take this link and come up here for a minute. Now, what I did see was that if California is a two-party state as far as recording, that's a problem. Right? That's a big problem. There she is. Really, you?
Hi, Cam. Yeah, it's me.
Okay. What's up?
I just wanted to see if you, I don't know if you're just finding out about some of this stuff, but
No.
I just was asking in the chat if you knew about the messages that I was sent by Jenny Penny, where she had said that she absolutely thought it was you that had leaked those.
Dude, that's what I was just talking about. I actually was talking about. I saw your live. I don't even know. It just started playing, earlier, and I was listening, and I was like, oh, because she called me. I've had that stuff for months, the recordings, everything. Because this is weird. She reached out on our, like, called on Cracking Cases, like our Facebook Messenger, which we never answer.
Which she said that, if I recall, she said she made a fake account for her.
Yeah.
And
And
we had no clue who she was. We had never talked to her.
for some reason, just answered it.
Yeah.
And she was like, just starts telling us all this stuff. And I'm like, why are you, it was just weird to me why it was being brought to us. And this was when? Before July?
I don't remember exactly when.
Do you think it was probably before July?
Probably, yeah.
And she called when was that last week? I have my days. Last week, maybe. It's been very recently. She called and she was like, "Did you? You were the only people that had those recordings." And I was like, "I didn't give them to anybody."
We had no idea that the recordings had gotten out.
Yeah.
All we had seen was the Grab's first 2 videos.
Yeah. Which I had sat and watched and knew who it was coming from and didn't say anything.
But we didn't know that the actual recordings were out there.
But didn't know the recording. Yeah, exactly. So she calls and she asks and she's like, do you know this angel talks too fast? I was like, yeah, I know her. And I said, I played 30 seconds of one way early in because I was upset about what you told me about what Josh some nefarious plan when he showed up on my panel one time, long time ago. And I even retracted that and was like, and Angel came to me and said, do you care if I play a little bit of that? And I said, I don't have permission to do that, so probably not. Well, Jeannie asked me, you didn't have permission to do that? I said, no, I didn't, but at least I'm being honest with you that I did play that, but I haven't leaked anything. And because it wasn't my place, and honestly, it has nothing to do with these cases. And it just pisses me off. When I saw your live tonight sitting here, or whenever you did that live, I was sitting here listening to it, and I was like, oh, I gotta talk about this now. I was just getting irritated with it. It's so stupid. Was it your channel that said California was a 2-party state? Tiffany?
Can you hear me okay, Cam?
Yeah, I can. Now I can.
Oh, shit. Okay. I can't look at chat then. I wonder why it does that. Sorry about that. So, yeah, it's a 2-party consent state in California. And I apologize because I came in here like probably 10 minutes late and I didn't hear anything that you said, but I wanted to see if you had known what she had said. Actually, I'm thinking now, I'm surprised you didn't talk about it sooner, but you must have just probably heard about it. So did you listen to the messages that she had sent me where she had mentioned you? Did you hear the whole thing?
Mm-mm.
No? All right. So, when Jenny Penny had reached out to me first, initially, she reached out in July, and I had no idea about any kind of phone calls. So I found out about these phone calls just recently. And when I asked her, because I had spoken with her just recently about all of this to try to get to the bottom of it, because she had it kind of involved me in it by saying that Josh was using me as a weapon against her, something ridiculous. But so there were 13 people in total that I know of who have the calls. She leaked them to a lot of people.
Right.
So do not carry the burden of who put them out. I truthfully believe Jenny Penny put them out herself, and I believe that she sent them to as many people as she did over a substantial period of time so that it would look just like this.
It was It was strange because she would get, like, sometimes before I would go live, she would before she started the channel on the Grab, she'd be like, please don't put those out. Please. And I was like, what made you think I was gonna put those out? Like, oh,
No,
I was what?
That was only a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, but
And we were live when she messaged.
I know that's what I'm
And
saying.
So, but why? I don't understand, because our live was nothing even about
That
anything.
that's what that's what I'm trying to get to. Like, she would do this randomly, like, please don't do that. Hey, please don't put these out. I was like, I have no intentions to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not like it was nothing to help us, and it was none of our business.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't help a case.
Actually,
It
after she got off the phone, the only time that she called us, me and you literally sat here and we were like, why did she just call and tell us all this?
That's yeah. Did you hear
Yeah.
that part? Like, she called the Craig and Cases messenger, and I just happened to answer it for the first time, and it was her, and she like just started telling us everything.
Yeah. Really weird, right?
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
She had
Yeah.
a
So she said that she said the first people. So I asked her, because at first I'm like, okay, let's try to get to the bottom of this, right? We'll figure it out. But I had no idea that it was handfuls of creators. And we're not just talking like subscribers, we're talking creators. Pretty much every creator imaginable she sent them to, which tells
scientific
me
skeptic. I
she
saw.
wanted them out. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. So it was Scott H. She said Scott H was the first one she sent them to, then Trisha at Web Sleuth. She said that they had them for several months and that they were never put out. So she did not think that it was them. Interestingly enough, though, and I'm not blaming Trisha at Web Sleuth at all.
female.
I did find it to be odd that at the very moment all of this was going down, Trisha did share out, and she never shares anything about drama. She's very, strictly true crime. She did share out the Scientific Skeptics Live, and it was about all of this stuff. And while Jenny Penny was messaging me, she said, "Oh, Trisha from Web Sleuth is calling me." I shared all these messages, by the way, so they're up there. You can see them all. And I said, okay, so she was the first person you told,
Because it had
and
something to do with Chris McDonough, I'm sure. Because she's been
yeah.
upset with him.
And then it circled back, it felt like to me, and it's just the way it looked to me. It doesn't mean anything, but it was just, I thought it was odd, and it struck me as odd that Trisha was one of the first people she said that she had sent it to. And then suddenly Trisha was sharing out a live stream of the Scientific Skeptics talking about this, and it was going to be a big expose and yada, yada, yada. And I was thinking, well, that's interesting, because Trisha never gets involved in drama. Now, but either way, it doesn't matter, right? The fact of the matter is, this girl sent them to so many people. I don't think Trisha at Web Sleuth put the recording out at all. I think it was Jenny Penny.
So
She
check.
sent them.
Go
Uh,
ahead.
she sent them to Scott H. Yeah, because I'm not going to stay long. I just wanted to see if you knew about.
We just found when they were sent to us just now. Yeah,
Okay, so
July.
it was Scott H, Trisha at Web Sleuth, Scientific Skeptic, Ziggy, Lady CG. Um, it was, oh my God, there were so many people. So that's only 5. Ziggy, Lady CG, Scott H, Web Sleuth.
Us.
You, she sent them to
You.
Jenny Gavel Geeks.
Yeah.
Okay, so this part here, Jenny said, "Hey, can I share them with Adrian?" And she said, "Yeah, sure. You can share them with Penny too. So add Penny, Adrian, uh, Jenny at Gavel Geeks." I say Gavel because we have Jenny, Penny, and Jenny. So
Right.
the list goes on and on, Cam. Listen, I truly, truly believe, and I've been of this assumption since the very first day when I found out there's 14 now, because I didn't even count. Yes, Gray Hughes was one of them, Chasing Truth, all of the creators, adjust the receipts. Yep. You guys are all really helpful.
Yeah.
I just went over all this and I've already forgotten, but this is the thing. Either way, she made sure to send these to all of these creators. So, and what's even more so interesting to me is July 7th, Josh paid her back every single dime. And
$7,600.
Yep. She sent me the first ever email telling me how afraid she was of him on the 14th. So, exactly a week later, she told me how terrified she was of Josh. But then get this, 2 weeks later, she was begging Josh to talk to her, calling him over and over and over again. I showed that too, the missed calls from her
Are
over
you
and
talking
over.
about the 14th of July?
Yes,
So I
that's
was looking right here. She sent me these recordings July 18th.
wow. So 4 days. Oh, she sent the recordings. Okay, see, because I think what she initially was trying to do was, I think she wanted to send them to me too, but I very much so did dismiss. I don't want to say I dismissed her. I didn't completely dismiss her, but I did kind of feel like I was being trolled in a way and I
Yep.
didn't bite. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
I felt like something was off. And I'm like, is this someone trying to see how I would react to, somebody coming to me about Josh? Because for someone to say that they were afraid of Josh and they were terrified, I'm like, this is weird. Who the hell is afraid of Josh? Like, he doesn't come off as a scary type of guy or, whatever.
Right.
And not to say that anybody could be a predator. It doesn't matter if you seem nice or you don't. Crazy things happen all the time, but it just seemed very out of character for what she was describing to me. And the way that she wrote these emails was that she was terrified of him. And but when I last spoke with her, that a couple days ago, right before I decided to really like go live about it all, she had said the only person that she could really narrow it down to would be you, because no one else would have done it, basically. And I'm like, yeah, no, I think you put them out.
Do you
But
have that where I can get that?
yeah, I
Okay.
can send it to you. I put it all out, but I can send you what I have.
Listen
It's
right
all
here.
out there.
Listen right here.
Hmm.
Hold on. It's playing. Let me move it forward.
The fake love stuff, that's the part that really hurts the most. It's not the money part, but that's the part that I'm fixated on. But I also need to know the money part of it. So just go ahead and tell me the money part of it.
Now you can say that we played it. That right there that is sat there in that same place. No, we didn't even listen to it. That makes me it makes me irritated because I knew that there was a reason that she came to us. I gave her the time of sitting here and listening to her for what, 2 hours
Yeah, a long time.
on the phone, and
So,
then never.
Lady CG, sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, Cam.
Okay.
Maybe and she doesn't care for me, but Lady CG, I know you don't want to throw anybody under the bus. Would you be willing to give the amount of people that are not on that list? Would you give the number of people that you know of instead of their names? That way we can. Are there 5 more people that we're not aware of? Does it make it like an even 20 people, or is it 17 people? I don't care who the names are, but truly, I think that this girl sent these to far more people than we could probably ever imagine.
I don't think Josh had any kind of nefarious plans when he came over that night. I think she's had this planned out to come after us because she said that she had a problem with us. Remember on the phone, and then and I was like, okay. So I've been noticing, and I'm glad I saved all these text messages from her, and
Mhm.
because I'm gonna here I'm gonna read.
How did you meet her? How do you guys know her,
Don't
Jimmy?
know her. She called our Cracking Cases Facebook Messenger, and I actually from a fake
Wow.
account, and I actually answered it for the first time ever,
The
and
only time.
only time. I don't and like I've learned my lessons since then. I still don't answer
Mm.
anything. And hold on, let me find the.
Wow, that's crazy. She didn't even know you, and she chose to send these to you. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, something is. I really feel this was a total sabotage on Josh. I really do. This part of it was really fucking bizarre.
So she says right here, talking to the police wherever Josh lives. I'm not playing like this. I got 32 unknown calls, 12 emails from different fake emails. When I would block one and another one comes, then. But what's weird is right up here. She says, um, let me go back to September 17th. Hey, did you tell this Angel Talks Too Fast person about it all? Please just let me know. I said, yeah, I played a little bit, but I said I didn't give her any details. Well, she's in AB's chat saying she knows. Did you give her some heads up or what's up? I'm not mad. I just want to figure it out because it makes me real nervous. Josh has been making a lot of threats, not just to me. I said, no, I didn't give her anything. I said, she does not know the details of anything. Only thing I said was on her panel that I knew about it. And she says, Angels in the chat says she knows more to the story. I'm not mad, just got to figure out where it's coming from. So at this point in time, like she's making us feel like we're the only people.
She was setting the stage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I, I would have never, I actually probably would have never spoke out on this and wasn't
Yeah.
going to until I was listening to sitting here a little while ago and I was listening to that and I heard where she came up on your panel and I was like, she is lying.
Yeah.
She's sitting there, and that's, I'm not going to stand for it. She's not going to drag me into it either. When we, I have better things to do than to sit and worry
Oh
about.
yeah, we all do.
Yeah,
Jesus, I put on hold a couple things. The things I've been doing the last couple days I was supposed to be doing before, but it's okay. We make time for these crazy things that happen. We have to, we don't have a
right.
choice. You gotta deal with it. But
That's
no,
right.
she was really hell bent on it being you guys, which I thought was odd because when all was said and done, she had given me 12 names, which now turned into 13 or 14. Lady CG said there were 5 others that she could think of off the top of her head that were not on that list. So there's like 20 people. This girl wanted them out regardless, no matter who put that audio out. I'll always think it was her. But no matter who put that audio out, she wanted it out. No
The,
one's
fu-
going to ever say she didn't.
the funny thing is, out of all those creators, every
Mhm.
single one of them kept their word. So she had to make a channel to come out
Right?
with it. That's pretty. If that doesn't speak a lot about
Yeah.
a lot of people,
Yeah.
then because she was even getting to the point that she was trying to to push it, like, hey, you aren't going to put those up. Please don't do that. Like, just like, yeah,
Oh
it's
gosh.
kind of, it's insane.
Yeah, she's like, I think there might be something a little off there. You know, that when I was talking to her when she came up on my panel, I didn't want to be insensitive to her, but I knew where it was going. And it was pretty clear to see she was not wanting me to follow through it. She knew I was going to share the emails and she didn't want me to. Um, but the thing is, when you involve all these people, and these are all creators that, we work with, here and there, all of us at some point or another, whatever, we'll lay down our sword and work together for summer,
Yeah,
whatever. I'm not going to walk around with all kinds of freaking information like on every single creator and I'm supposed to not say anything, but the thing that I thought was also really strange was that she had said, um, oh God, what was it? I just lost my thought. This girl really threw me for a loop, you guys. I really this was wild, really wild.
it
She
is.
was
Did she
really
tell you she works
hysterical.
for like the high fashion industry and she told,
No, she didn't, but other people had talked about it for sure. I know that, I got a comment from Gray the other day too. He was really upset with me. He said this really happened to her. She's not lying. You're disgusting, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, listen, I'm telling you right now, no, this isn't okay. This girl is, first of all, whatever went on between her and Josh. Listen, I'm sure there were things that went on between her and him that were completely private. That is not, nobody wants to hear about that. And when you're going out on a smear campaign like this and you're involving every single creator, I said to her, I'm like, I'm shocked that you sent this to all of these creators and they all kept it private for you. But I did too, because when she sent me those emails, I told 2 people about them. And those 2 people are really close to me. They would never say a word. And I knew it was safe with them because I'm like, I kind of feel like I'm being trolled. And at the same time, Josh was messaging me because somebody told him there was stuff going around my Discord about him, which was a lie. And I'm like, no, I just searched my Discord. There's nothing in there about you at all. No one talks shit about Josh in my Discord. So, he's a respected creator. A lot of people love Josh.
Yeah.
So I went and I looked. There was nothing there. And I'm like, and honest, I was thinking maybe Josh wants to see how I would react. I know that sounds crazy, but I couldn't make sense of it. I'm like, who is this person? I've never heard of this Jenny person. And he was messaging me at the same time. And then I got an email saying how deathly afraid she was of him. And I'm like, maybe he wants to see if I would side with some random stranger who said XYZ. Stranger things have happened. So I left it where it was because I felt like it wasn't my business, and this girl didn't provide me with anything. It's not like she sent me pictures of bruises all over her body or something. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
there wasn't anything that I had to actually go off of. And I'm not going to go on the attack toward Josh. I just kept it completely private and never said a word, just like all those creators never said a word. And if by chance someone put the recording out, Cam, how
Yeah.
friggin' long did it take? Months.
Months. And we even went, like, while we were on the phone with her, we went back and I was like, here, let me this is what was I thought was weird. I was like, here, let me I was like, we'll set up a behind the scenes like panel like this. And I was like, I'll show you my email and see and show you where I've talked to Angel. I'll show you where everything I've forwarded to her, and they're not there. I've not shared any of this. She didn't want to see it. What she did do though was, and I think that what happened when Josh came on my panel, and what happened was I was getting ready to like go off about something, and I listened to one of Josh's lives about just not. Yeah, so it was pretty encouraging. It was good. It was a long time ago, and I gave him credit for it because I was like, look, I was going to handle it a very wrong way, and he came on my panel that night. It was actually really good. Well, she had tried to turn that as it was something nefarious that he was doing, and it had me really upset and mad. And then said that the night that me and you, Tiffany, actually got into it on my panel, that like she was on the phone with him and he wanted to, like, he had to sit and watch to see if I was going to take his advice. And I'm like, what?
That was a really long time ago.
Long time ago. Yeah.
Wow.
And she said
That was like,
those 2 experiences, she reached out to us because she just wanted to warn us.
yeah, she wanted to warn you that she was going to come for you in a couple months.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why I made this right here, this thumbnail. I put the lab and the grab, who's right, who's wrong. I said they both did things that are wrong. Both are in the wrong. But that's their business. Shouldn't have been brought out here. Shouldn't have been, passed around.
Yeah, no, anything private should never come. When you have private relationships with people, whether they're friendships or whatever they might be, nobody needs to know. It's nobody's business. Nothing that nothing that you say in private or you do in private with people that you supposedly care about should become a public matter. And it seems like it's always that way. Like it's a trend on YouTube. That's what people do, right? To get back at one another.
Yep.
I do feel like, yeah, they probably both did something wrong, but at what point, see, I felt like I had to make a decision. I couldn't just say they were both wrong. I had to pick one over the other in this circumstance. And the reason being is because how strong the smear campaign was. And when you see that, it's so hard to say, oh, no, they're both wrong. Like where I was sitting, it was clear to see this girl really wanted to ruin his reputation, as if there wasn't stuff already going on, right? So he
Right.
has other stuff going on. Definitely wasn't necessary. He didn't need any help getting, pushed down any further. He's already got accusations flying at him or whatever. So
Yeah.
what this really did was, if Jenny Penny accomplished anything, what I think she accomplished was pretty much everything she was trying to prove beforehand became a non-factor, even for me. And I was, really straightforward with Josh that I was upset about a couple things on the podcast. But now it's like I don't even really, it took away. It really did. Everything she did took away, in my opinion, from what she was trying to do. Like she squashed her whole plan. It's just stupid.
Yeah.
Because it was overkill, and then it was like piled up on top of on top of on top of.
If she
So
if she is being truthful about what she delivered to us was over like a month period that he had said that like there was these family get-togethers that he needed this money for. She put it together that he was just using her. She had all this money because she is so high up um, in the fashion industry, and that he wanted all this high-end clothing, and that she like felt like she was being used, and that's the way she. I mean,
and she also, like, she made it come across like she, at the end of it, she calculated it all, and that's when she realized just how much money that she had sent him. When
like, I mean, I don't know about you, but I mean, I know that I don't have enough where I'm like $7,600. Oh boy, I didn't even notice that was gone. You know, I mean, come on.
well, I questioned if she had even sent it, but she did send the receipt. She did show that they were real and true. And
Right.
that, yeah, I didn't
And
even believe her. I was like, nope, I don't believe this story. I even said I didn't believe either of them. I'm like, I don't believe anything till I see that money was sent, because this sounds too crazy for me.
well, I wanted to stand behind her, but when I heard about it, because I heard him admit that like she did have a friend that they found the computer picture that had the bullet holes in it off online, and
Oh,
that
yeah.
it was his. Like those were straight lies, and there was things that Josh was in the wrong about, like, and but that wasn't our business too. That's why it's taken me. I've sat here and watched this go on for weeks and not said anything, and like some of these people, like you talked about Adrian and Jenny and all that. Like I was speaking to them during, they knew that we knew about that because we talked to them, but it was never in chasing. I mean, she probably knew, and that's how each and every one of us did not even tell it.
We didn't even tell each other. Yeah.
Yeah, even
Hmm.
though we all had the same thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, I
But
appreciate
you know
you
what?
coming over here, though. I do.
The creators in this community are pretty good about that. I mean, I get emails pretty much all day long. I could count on one hand how many I've ever had to show. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it happens sometimes in situations like this, and I'm not the type of person to just say, well, I know what I know and I'm not going to say anything, because there's too much at stake when you've got, and I don't mean any harm to Jenny Penny. I know she probably thinks I'm out to get her or whatever, but truly, I wanted to get to the bottom of it. I wanted to figure out who actually leaked phone call. And when she started listing the people off, I'm like, wait a minute. I said, it's too late. I said, just let it go. You got to ride it out, girlfriend. Like, there's nothing you can do. It's out there. You sent it to all these people. Did you really expect that it wasn't going to get out? And she's like, no, I don't want this. I don't want this. And I'm like, you
Oh,
should have thought about that before you sent it to 15 people. You know what I mean?
what bothers me is though, because I tried to be compassionate towards her and didn't do anything like yet she tried to throw us under the bus. Now that does bother me.
Yeah, she was pretty adamant that it was you guys. And I wonder if it's because she said, I know Ziggy wouldn't do that to me. She said, I know that Ziggy would not do that to me. She was pretty positive it wasn't Scott. It wasn't Trisha from Web Sleuths. And I agree with that because they were the first people she gave it to and they had it for months. And I said, if it didn't come out in the first couple months, I said, then the next people you gave it to was Jenny, Adrian, and Penny. And then it came out. And she's like, no, wait, I'm not done yet. And then she's like, I'm really nervous. Let me finish typing. And it went on and on and on for several hours. And I just waited. I'm like, okay, I can be patient. I'll let her type. But it was like paragraphs upon paragraphs and explaining all these different people she sent it to. And then she said she didn't want it coming out. And the next thing you know, Scientific Skeptics going live about it. And it's like a big to-do. And, I really feel that no matter how anybody might feel about Josh at the current time, that's a true smear campaign. What she tried to do to him, that's fucked up.
It is.
And it could happen to any of us, like anybody could say anything they wanted to. And then calling somebody a scammer who paid back every penny. And even before you started making these allegations, those are the parts that bother me. Like, this guy scammed me. And then they're like, well, did he scam you? I don't think so, because he paid back every cent. That's not a scam. Now, if he lied to get money out of you, then that's called lying to get money out of you. But he paid it back. So does it really matter? No.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was so messy. And
I'm gonna prove something to y'all right quick. I'm going to be respectful and mark out her name on here, but I'm just going to prove when these were sent to me.
Yeah, I protected all of her information too.
That's what I'm doing right quick. But I'll pull this up. I had to mark it out on my phone, but this is just to prove that we had it at the same exact time. And because that's what that was too. I feel like it was to go ahead and try to smear us along with it. She found her
she was about to, Cam.
Yeah.
She was about to. Yeah. She was on her way. Well, on her way to.
I'm glad I listened to that tonight. And it's weird how it came up because I was listening to something else and then your live popped up after it. I was on a different tab and and I was just started listening. I was like, and then I was like, oh, really?
I couldn't even believe it. And I almost was sitting there like, how the hell did I even get wrapped up in this? But it is I'm glad that it's over now. I'm glad it was handled and you don't even have to worry about it but I know that you're probably thinking, well, shit, I need to prove I didn't do this. But listen, she sent it to so many people. It could have been anybody. She's going to have to deal with that. That's going to have to be something she's going to have to deal with. And it's going to have to be a learning lesson. Don't send recorded calls. And it was also premeditated. She recorded those calls for a reason, clearly.
Can y'all see that?
What does this say? Okay. Yeah.
So there's my.
Oh, all right.
Yep. And I just wanted to put that up there because I'm going to cover my butt. I felt like she was trying to come after our integrity and come after what our promise we made for, we said, no, I won't do that because it's not my place. But, at the same time, when she asked about Angel, I want to put, I did play 30 seconds of that. And when she asked, well, you didn't have permission, that's where she found she was like, because even though I was like, what did I say? Allie.
You said, I did play like maybe 30 seconds. It wasn't very much of it. And she said, you didn't have permission to do that. And you said, I know I didn't, and I'm sorry. You said I shouldn't have done
I
that.
said I did it
But
out of
at least,
anger.
yeah, and you said, at least I'm telling you that I did do that.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
but
she did mention that. She definitely did mention that. And I can send I can send you those messages, Cam, the ones about you.
yeah.
I have them, like they're super fresh because this just happened the other day.
Okay. Yeah. If you'll send them to my email, I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
sure, no problem. But as far as you being accused of putting this stuff out, you guys, I would not take that responsibility on. There's people that see with, because it was, I believe, oh shoot, who else was it? There was Lady CG, and I think someone else right underneath her said 10 more. Was it Pearl DeVere or one of the circle jerk? I think one of the emojis or icons for that. I think they said 10 other people. So listen, if we don't have the names of all the people, the only person that has all of those names is her. The only person that can answer that question, right,
It's
are the
her.
people she sent them to. If she contacts them one by one, if they're going to be completely honest with her and herself, because she is the only one who knows all the people she sent it to. And I believe Lady CG when she says 5 other people outside of the list. And I believe the other person when they say there's 10 others that we know of. I guarantee you those phone calls are all over the place. And you know what? She's very lucky. The people in this community really did keep them private, and they never got out
It's true. And
till the very end.
that right there, Danielle. That's a great question. So who else would want to smear both Josh and Cam? Hmm.
That's probably a good question. Yeah.
I think that the reason she came to us in the first place was because of Chris McDonough. She knew that we had some
Oh,
differences in opinion, and she used it to her advantage. Now, Jenny Penny, if you listen to this, we've kept our word, and I'm sorry it's not an attack on you, but I've sat back and I've listened and I've listened and I've listened, but to throw us under the bus, I'm not going to allow it. And if you want to keep going, and if you want to keep talking and saying things that are not true, then I can talk about everything else that you wanted to come to us in confidence about that may or may not be true, but it's not my place. I'm not like that. I'm not going to hold it over your head. There's a lot of people that would. And I just said that like that because I want you to know that we're not like that. We have better things to worry about. But don't try to throw our name, through the mud either. When you shared it to this, however many people it was, then then you're going to have to go through that list if it wasn't you yourself who did it. That's pretty much about all I got to say about
I
it.
think it's kind of you to say what you just did after she was actually ready to go out and accuse you of, especially knowing too, when I asked her, like, of all the, who did you send it to and what order? How did it go? Knowing she wasn't completely honest about all the people she sent it to, how can she blame it on you if she's not even being honest about who she sent it to and all of the people that had it? But I'll send those to you, and yeah, I was happy to take a link because then it's easier to talk to you, because I was just going to tell you in the chat that there were, that's what I was trying to say was, I'm like, did you know there's 13 other people?
There's Josh right there. Josh, you want the link, bro? Here, man.
He says talk about, I don't think he can talk about her. He had
No,
said
I
on my
don't want.
channel.
Yeah, I don't want him to talk about her, but I want. What I'm gonna do
Yeah.
right here is
I'll
just.
climb down so that if he wants to come up so you guys can talk to him and everything. But yeah, Cam, I'll get that stuff to you in a few minutes. I'll go do it right now.
All right. I
And
appreciate it. Thank you, Tiffany.
yep, no problem. Anytime. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye, Allie.
All right, Josh. There is the link right there. You can come up if you want to, bro. Because yeah, I know I don't have no need to talk about this, but our name's getting thrown into it, and I'm just getting sick of it, and I will put an end to it. That's why if you saw the title and description, I said I will bring out the truth about it once and for all because it doesn't belong in true crime anyway. If that was between them personally, that's between them personally. That has no effect or bearing on any of these cases. In these cases, it helps none of these children, these missing people, any of it. Let me see if he's gonna come up. I'll give him just a minute. Yeah, this is the last time I'm going to talk about it. And Penny has our phone number too. That's the thing. If she wants to talk to us, she can even call. What do you say?
I can't come up, but I know you didn't do it.
All right. Well, I appreciate that, Josh. I do. Listen, I'm sorry what happened. I know, like I said, probably some wrong choices in any relationship. Both people are usually wrong. That's not for public attention. Now, everything else that came out, I'm not going to either say take one side or another because it's none of my damn business. It's none of Allie's business. She came to us with it, and, we did nothing with it because it's none of our business. That's the main truth that I want to get out, to everybody in true crime right now. I will not be a part of this drama. I will not be a part of this shit show. I will not be a part of a relationship gone bad, sour, whatever. What I will do is cover cases. I will continue to cover cases and look into all things, all avenues, anything. If people choose to not follow the path that we look in, the way we look into things, so be it. They don't have to watch us. But that right there is not helping anything. So I hope that makes sense. I hope people can respect that from us, me and Allie. That's where we stand on it. But all I ask is, Jenny, Josh, thank you for what you said. Jenny Penny, if you're in here, if you're listening, I would appreciate if you would retract your statement about us being the ones who leaked, allegedly, you falsely accused us of leaking this stuff, and that's just not fact. Let's see here. Somebody asked me something. Cam, did you? Let's see here. Do I agree with, there's a lot of things I still will not, Josh, this is our right. Do I follow Chris McDonough? Do I agree with everything he says? Absolutely not. Never said I did. Did I go to Josh? Somebody asked something. I wanted to find that. Cam, did you go to Josh? Okay, Craig and Casey's. Did you let Josh know about this before? Thundercat? No, I did not, because it was not my business. It was not my business to get involved between those two in their relationship. So therefore, like I said, I even got angry on Angel's played people might have been in there in that live, played a very short clip of something, and then said I was sorry after the fact because I said, I acted out of anger, out of impulse. So we're going to get back to true crime. Robin Smith, yes, that's what we're going to do. I just wanted to put my truth out there after everything that we had listened to, mine and Allie's truth, because we, as creators, are not going to have our what many of our followers feel as that's our integrity, that's our word, that's our that goes against everything that we say that we are. We don't get involved with that stuff. Try not to be a part of the drama, try to not be a part of any. Now when we get dragged into it, sometimes we do have to make a statement about it. But this right here was to speak our truth once and for all. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for being in here. I really do. Let me see if there's anything else. Like I said, this was going to be a short one. It's an hour, so we'll do that. And I think we're gonna, let's see. I'm gonna answer some questions in here real quick, and we'll close it out at a direct hour. Thank you, Shirley Johnson. Thank you so much. If you felt like, thank you, Susan H. If you felt like that we handled that correctly, please put a 1 in our chat. I would greatly appreciate it. If you didn't, put a 2. Our names were dragged into it. Had to address it. I'm not going to sit and be silent about it and then be accused of, well, it's Cam and Allie. It's Cam and Allie. They did this. They did that. We have to say no. No, we're not. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. We respect each and every one of y'all. If it wasn't for you guys, there would be no us. Danny L., I saw your email. I will get in touch with you. I want to do a live with you very soon. Inquisitive Jade's going to be coming on. Hopefully we can get the plans all worked out for that. Jen Grin says, okay, but don't go. It's late. I have to. I think you handled this any other way than positive. Thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Lab said email me. Okay, got you, dude. I will. I'll reach out. All right, guys, I appreciate it. As always, I pray out of this, and we're done. Dear Lord, thank you for what you do. We ask for answers for Summer's case, answers for Michael Vaughn's case, answers for Jalissa Fuentes' case, for Kylie Rodney's case, for all the cases that the names do not even get time in the media. We ask, Lord, that you put peace in the families' hearts, and this, if there is foul play involved in these missing people's cases, Lord, we ask that justice is served. Lord, thank you for everything that you do. Let us always act with integrity, honor, and respect, and loving and caring towards our brothers and sisters and fellow colleagues in the true crime community on YouTube. Let us be fair, reasonable, and thoughtful. Lord, we appreciate you for everything you do in our lives. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Remember, listen, I ain't perfect. Allie ain't perfect. We mess up every daggone day. I cuss, smoke cigarettes, and, probably don't make the greatest decisions all the time, but I'm not any better than anybody else. We just always choose to pray. We do, we will bring everything before the Lord. That's, I see things progress with that. You cannot go wrong when you put things before the Lord's. Lay them at his feet and let him deal with them. Again, not preaching at you, just telling you how we believe it's kind of makes things a little easier. Remember, at the end of the day, everybody wants justice.
But justice doesn't have to be carried out with hate.
We love you. Till next time, keep on cracking. God bless. See ya.